The CRM that you choose can make it actively harder to close deals, or on the other hand, it can practically put your sales process on autopilot. I know that because part of my job is knowing the best CRMs to use and implement for businesses. Over the last 10 years, I've done hundreds of CRM implementations and integrations, and I've used pretty much every single one of them. So in this video, I'll save you the hassle of having to pay for and test all of these CRMs yourself, and I'll give you my top 11 picks of CRMs you should definitely take a look at. Now, if you came to me looking for a CRM and I knew nothing else about your business aside from the fact that you wanted a CRM that was easy to use, I definitely recommend that you look at Pipedrive. Pipedrive has great contact management. They've got really visual pipeline management to manage all of your deals. They've got task management. It's basically an easy to use CRM that's really designed around the needs of salespeople. And the awesome part is that sales reps actually talk about how easy it is to use Pipedrive. We're not just talking about ease of implementation, say for sales admins, but if it's the sales reps who enjoy using it, then you get that user adoption and buy-in, which is so critical when you're implementing a CRM. Because you could have the Cadillac of Salesforce subscriptions, but if no one's really using it, then you're not going to see much value. Now, Pipedrive kind of has a no-frills approach to how they sell the software. If you want marketing automation on top of the CRM, you can do that. They have an add-on for campaign management where you can do email campaigns. Or you can use their Lead Booster add-on for chatbots and forms and lead enrichment data. But ultimately, if you don't need those add-ons, you don't have to pay for it. Pipedrive plans start at $14 per seat per month, and they scale from there. They're kind of in the middle of the range when it comes to price. To get the most value, I definitely recommend going with their growth plan at $39 per user or higher, because then you get the value of their email syncing and email sequences. Now, HubSpot, on the other hand, is more of an all-in-one platform. It covers your marketing, your sales, your content, your service, all in one single platform. It's a great user experience, and to be honest, it has the best free CRM platform that's available. But the problem with the free plan is that you can only have up to 2 users, and it has HubSpot's branding all over the place. So assuming your business is successful, you'll definitely end up upgrading at some point. And that's where it starts to get pretty expensive. Because yes, there is kind of an intro paid plan for $9 or $15 per seat per month. But if you want automations and email sequences, that actually doesn't start until the $90 a month Sales Hub Professional. And if you need custom objects, let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to track properties and you want to track them separately from your deals object, well, then you need to be on the enterprise plan, and that costs $150 per seat. So HubSpot has a ton of great features, an amazing free plan, but they know how to lock you in, and then they're going to accelerate that price really quickly. Now, if you're still looking for an all-in-one kind of platform, but you don't have the budget for HubSpot, you might want to take a look at Zoho. Zoho's platform has over 45 different applications, and we're not just talking about sales and marketing. You can manage inventory, expense management, project management. They have their own accounting software and email software and app builders. And Zoho's CRM is part of this whole ecosystem, so you can choose to use it independently or as part of this whole. They do have a free plan, and their standard plan, their first paid plan, starts at $14 per seat per month. And this includes more advanced features like mass emailing, custom modules, and even sales forecasting. So the really cool part about this is you can get access to all of those 45 plus applications on one single subscription that they call Zoho One. Zoho One starts at $37 per seat per month if you get every single employee in your company to use it. So to give everyone in your company access to all the software that they need for that price is pretty incredible. The only downside that I'll mention is that the user experience is sometimes a little bit lacking. There's a lot of configuration needed to make these tools work the exact way that you want. So if you're not afraid of using a little bit of elbow grease or hiring a consultant, then Zoho might be a good fit for you. Now, at the other end of user experience is Adio, and Adio has just an amazing modern design, really easy to use. Its platform is really built around data enrichment, understanding your leads, understanding all of the interaction history that you have with your prospects. They do have a free plan available, and paid plans start at $29 per seat, which is a little bit more on the expensive end. But with these higher plans, you'll get more email sends, you'll get better data enrichment, you'll get access to custom objects, and you're going to get more automation credits. Adio is relatively newer to the scene. There's more mature competitors, but Adio is moving really quickly in this space. If your sales team relies heavily on outbound calling, you'll definitely want to use Close CRM. Close is not just a dialer, they have a full omni-channel experience for email, phone, and SMS. And this is a big deal because a lot of other CRM systems are going to force you to integrate with third-party vendors to actually handle things like your texting. But with Close, you just pay this single subscription and you don't have to work with those additional vendors. One feature I really like is that you can track custom activities. So if someone books a demo or if you complete a demo, those could be activity types that then you track inside of your pipeline. So Close has both a power dialer and a predictive dialer. The power dialer is going to go through a list you have one at a time, and then it's going to connect you to that person so you can call quickly. But the predictive dialer goes a step further where you can have multiple sales reps working at the same time, and it's going through and calling multiple people simultaneously. As soon as someone picks up, it's going to then connect them to the right rep. There's also call coaching features available. So you can have a sales manager listen into the call. You can have them whisper, which means they can give feedback directly to the rep without the prospect hearing that, or they can barge. So the sales manager could actually come onto the call and talk with the prospect as well. A solo user plan starts at $9, but all of those advanced call features don't come in until the $139 per seat plan. That's pretty steep, but again, you get all of those features around calling and you don't have to use multiple vendors. Now, some features are a little bit lacking here, such as the quality of their reporting and their lack of proposal or quote generation. But again, if you need a true outbound tool that's really good at omnichannel, this is a good one to look at. As you're evaluating these CRM platforms, it's so critical that you choose the tool that meets the needs for your business. That's why on our website at softwarefinds.com, we've created free tools that you can use to actually input the weights of the characteristics of software that you care most about. That way, it'll generate a list of CRMs that are actually tailored for you. Come on over to our website to check out these free review and comparison tools. If your team is already using Google Workspace, then it makes sense that you'll want to check out Copper. Copper works directly inside of the Gmail sidebar so that you can efficiently enter data and track activities. And this Chrome extension, I would say, is only second to HubSpot's. It's a really clean user experience. So you get the advantage of it working already with the Google products that you're using, and it has a minimal learning curve. Automation on the platform, however, isn't quite as advanced as others, and there's some features like removing Copper's branding from forms or sending email series or essentially sequences that are restricted to the most expensive $99 per seat business plan. So it's easy to use, but some features feel a little artificially expensive. If you run a service-based business, then you might want to look at a special CRM platform like Jobber or Honeybook. These kind of platforms typically help you with scheduling, job management, invoicing, and payments on top of standard CRM functionality. I typically would turn to a Jobber for more construction adjacent or subcontractor type companies. And the reason is simply in the name. Jobber is really good at managing the actual jobs themselves that you might have going on simultaneously. Honeybook, on the other hand, is typically more for creatives or freelancers like designers or wedding photographers. And I really like Honeybook's smart files, which let you go from a proposal to a contract to an invoice and getting paid all in one single document rather than having to chop up those different pieces of the process. Now, neither of these platforms are typically very strong at automation or customization. But if you're a small business, this is often a good way to go because you're not really paying per seat licensing like you've seen for so many of these other CRMs. Now, my next recommendation might be a little bit controversial. It's just that you might want to build your own custom CRM. Using a no-code platform like Airtable, you'll be able to create your own database structure. You can create your own interface pages, your own automations, your own entire structure. It's like a box of Legos that you can create anything that you want. Now, there's certain CRM features that you won't get access to easily, such as email syncing, but a lot of these things you can build on your own. And the kinds of companies we see preferring this approach are ones who say, yeah, we've got really unique business processes, and anytime I look at software, it doesn't really match up with what we need. Maybe we have a CRM and project management or fulfillment or inventory needs that really need to be meshed together, and we can't get these systems to work unless we build it ourselves. So if you find yourself really wrestling with these platforms, then building your own or having a consultant help you might be a good way to go. A tool like Airtable does have a free plan available, which is pretty useless, but their paid plans start at $20 per seat per month. If you're looking for full control of your data and avoiding vendor lock-in, you might want to consider going open source. I consider 20 to be a much more modern-looking CRM. It kind of feels like Notion. And if you're not big on self-hosting, you can use their cloud-hosted plans starting at $9 per seat per month. This includes automations, custom objects, and unlimited records. 20 is not quite as mature as other CRMs such as Suite CRM, but it's got an awesome start. One of the fastest growing CRM ecosystems is HighLevel. They include forms, websites, course management, SMS, funnel management, voice, AI, tons of functionality all in a single product. It's a good fit for agencies, and plans start at $97, not per seat, but just $97 per month. Although I think you'll want to pay for their $297 a month plan so that you get access to the API. Now there's a whole separate conversation to be had about their white label and reseller programs. But one thing you should be aware of is that you're going to be charged separately for the actual volume of email sends and text messages. And HighLevel really isn't upfront about these costs. At the end of the day, you're still probably going to get way more value, even though you've got some of these hidden costs in the background, but it's important to know this information before you get too deep into it. I should also mention that their team works really, really fast to develop new features all the time. And that's great because you get access to a lot of amazing things in one platform. However, it comes with some costs because there are bugs and performance issues that you might not expect on other platforms. Having a full CRM is incredibly important for sales, but of course you can't just ignore the other side of the coin, which is project management. You see, you can't just keep adding dozens of new customers and clients and then not actually keep track of your projects and all of the fulfillment side, which is why in this video, I rank every single project management tool to show you from my experience what I think is the very best one. If you want your business to run as smoothly as possible, I'll see you over there.